Etymology and historical origin of the baby name Luciana. In ancient Rome, Luciana was the feminine form of the masculine Lucius, from the Latin lux, meaning light. Like Marcus and Julius, Lucius is one of the oldest and most common Roman praenomen given names, dating back to the now extinct Etruscan civilization. Due to the name's etymological meaning, i.e., light, Lucius was often bestowed upon children who were born at the first light of dawn, which would explain the heavy usage. A famous name-bearer of the female name St. Lucia of Syracuse was an early 4th century saint whose cult and legend grew in the Middle Ages, which is when the name gained popularity. Believe it or not, Lucia is the patron saint to those who are blind, as she was said to be the way of light. Born at the end of the 3rd century in Syracuse, Sicily, she gave herself over to Christianity and refused her pagan bridegroom. Rejected and irate, her husband-to-be turned her over to the anti-Christian Roman powers that were. When the guards came to persecute her, they were unable to move her body. According to legend, Lucia was so heavy because her heart, body, and soul were so filled with the Holy Spirit. Nor were her accusers able to burn her, another popular form of torture in her time. Finally, the frustrated guards gorged her eyes out with a fork. You can take Lucia out of the light, but you can't take the light out of Lucia. The English Lucy and French Lucie come from Lucia. Lucia is the #1 female name in Spain, 2010, and it is also ranked high in Catalonia. Luciana is another form of Lucia, a fancier Latin, Italian, Spanish and Portuguese version. Personality of the girl named Luciana. The number 7 personality is deeply mystical and highly in tune with their spirituality. They operate on a different wavelength than the average Joe. Spending time alone comes easily to 7s, as it gives them time to contemplate philosophical, religious and spiritual ideas in an effort to find real truth. 7s are wise, but often exude mystery as if they are tapped into something the rest of us don't understand. They love the outdoors and are fed by nature. 7s are constantly seeking to understand human nature, our place in the universe, and the mystery of life in general. This makes them quite artistic and poetic, but they are also keen observers with high intellect, so they are equally scientific-minded. 7s are charitable and care deeply about the human condition. Popularity of the girl named Luciana. Luciana is not as popular as Lucia in the United States, but she holds her own on the charts quite well all the same. Luciana debuted on the American female naming charts for the first time in 1974, did moderately well for a brief 3 years, and then promptly retreated back into obscurity. The name reappeared almost 30 years later in 2006. We think this may have been influenced by actor Matt Damon's marriage to an Argentinian-born Miami bartender named Luciana Bozán Barroso in December 2005. Such a high-profile marriage placed Luciana in the media, reminding American parents of her pretty name. Good timing, too. American naming trends were ripe for another Italian-inspired name. Not to mention this one has some literary cachet as a Shakespearean character from The Comedy of Errors and cosmopolitan coolness given the name's crossover appeal. Luciana is a shining example of a very gorgeous girl's name. Quick facts on Luciana. Gender, girl. Origin, Italian. Number of syllables, 3. Ranking popularity, 515. Pronunciation, Luciana, Italian, Lutyana, Spanish, Lusyana, Latin American Spanish, Luciana, English. Simple meaning, light, to shine, bringer of light. Characteristics of Luciana. Imaginative, philosophical, wise, eccentric, mystical, intuitive, solitary. Cultural references to the baby name, Luciana. Literary characters of the baby name Luciana. Luciana is a character in The Comedy of Errors, one of William Shakespeare's earliest plays, being written in 1594. The play draws upon the old twins separated at birth routine, only there are 2 sets, masters and servants, one set from Ephesus, one set from Syracuse, yep, the boys from Syracuse. Luciana is the sister of Adriana, who is married to the Ephesian master. Naturally, the Syracusan master makes a move on Luciana, who, thinking him her sister's husband, gives him the cold shoulder and tattles on him. Luciana always seems to be in her sister's shadow. She is more timid, she is conciliatory, and she tries to justify the ways of men to the more rebellious Adriana. Nonetheless, after all the tomfoolery surrounding the mistaken identities is sorted out, Luciana stands as a shining beacon of family, especially sisterly loyalty, and she is rewarded accordingly. That reward is marriage to the proper twin, and we applaud her happiness. Famous people named Luciana: Luciana Serra, Italian opera singer; Luciana Abreu, Portuguese singer/actress; Luciana Bozán Barroso, Argentinian wife of Matt Damon; Luciana Salazar, Argentine fashion model; Luciana Souza, Brazilian jazz singer and composer; Luciana Lidizetto, Italian actress; Luciana Caparazzo, English singer-songwriter; Luciana Jimenez, Brazilian fashion model and TV personality;